Hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode 19 of Everything Actually with me, your host, Ashley Fisher. Today, we have my wonderful guest star here. Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Andrea. I am the infamous roommate.
I mention her at least every other episode, and today I have her on to help us with some dating advice. Today's episode is going to be all about dating in your 20s. For a little backstory, I'm currently dating and it is messy to say the least. So every time I have an issue, a question with anything, trot on over, knock on her door, and she's the one who gives me advice. So she's going to be who I am prompting these questions to. She'll give some of her advice for it. I'll say how I feel, and then we'll just go back and forth. So as I said, I'm currently dating out there in the thick of it. This is her situation.
I am in a very good, healthy, happy, fun relationship for almost like 2.5 years, something like that, close to it. And yeah, I'm loving every minute of it.
So I think a big appeal of this can be she's more above the situation. She can see it being emotionally detached from it, whereas I am in the thick of it, freaking out about everything. So, with that all said, I have about 5 or 6 questions prepared. Jumping right on into it, these are all how do you feel about? How do you feel about and this is all casual dating stuff, mind you. How do you feel about bringing up sex before the first date?
Bringing it up or having it?
Both, we can go into both. So
Okay.
we'll start with somebody bringing it up. Let's say you're supposed to hang out with somebody, just a little chill sesh, and they mention, "Oh, should I make sure that I have condoms for when you come over?" How would you respond? Do you expect this from a man? What are your thoughts? How do we proceed?
I think in terms of like building the mood and foreplay, I feel like that kind of ruins it just because you're like, okay, now you're expecting it. Um, I feel like if that in your mind is an option at all, you should just always like just be prepared. So you should just have condoms. But I mean,
You're open to having, not like you specifically, but it's like if you have sex on the first hangout, it's like we're adults, we're grown, it's a decision that we're making.
I think it all depends on what you want. If you want to have sex, go ahead and have sex. Like if they see you differently, that's between you and them. I don't think that's anything to do with, I don't know, just who you are, how you are as a person. If your goal is to go over to whoever's house, whether it be the first time you're meeting or not, and your goal is to have sex, and the other person is okay with it, then like I don't see an issue.
Now, where I think it may take a different course is, do you think that that could change like the dating motivation, so to speak? So I believe that it's, let's say there's this guy that I want him to be my boyfriend and I want him to take me out on nice dates and treat me right before just getting into bed. I feel that if you do have sex then on the first date without them taking you out to dinner, without them having to impress you, so to speak, that they're more like you gave it up for lack of better words and they did nothing for you. So now they're like, okay, I don't need to take her on nice dates. I don't need to buy her food or buy her dinner because I already got what I want. So now it's just going to keep going down that path. Or do you disagree that maybe they'll try and impress you after because they had a good time on the first hangout?
Honestly, I don't. I think it can go either way, and I think that it could go neither of those ways. Like, I don't see that as the only two options. I think that you could give it up or just have sex early on and still make them work for it. Like, I don't, they're not mutually exclusive. Um,
This is why I was
and then,
excited to have her on because she gives how I'm like, no, it's either going to be that they expect it every time after and they're just going to drop it. And she's like, well, maybe that's not what's going to happen.
yeah, maybe it's not, and maybe they'll just want to keep impressing you because they want to keep you around because
Maybe it's a good time.
maybe it's a good time. So there
So
are gonna be
to
different motives, and if they don't do that, and that's what you want, then move on.
so to give the summary answer of bringing up sex on the first date, I think we agree that it kills the mood.
You should like if that's your intention, I guess like make it known. Usually in this day and age, there's a vibe set beforehand. You kind of know whether it's happening when you're going into it or not, or if there's a possibility. If you don't see any possibility and then they whip out the condoms and they're like, all right, let's get to it, I mean, then yeah.
That brings me into another point that it's like if it is your first date and you're like, okay, I'm gonna come over and we're gonna watch a movie and have some wine. I think that facilitates more of the vibe that like something could happen. As opposed to if you go out for a sit down fancy dinner and he's just picking you up and dropping you off, there's less room for the tension and the vibe.
I agree.
All right, gorgeous. All right, second question. What are your thoughts on not texting between plans? So, let's say a guy texts me on Monday. He goes, "Hey, let's go out on Friday. I'm going to take you to Salt Shack." Shout out Tampa location. And I'm like, "Okay, great. Sounds fun." He doesn't text me until Thursday night saying, "Hey, are we still on for tomorrow?" How do you respond? Were the plans set on Monday and he is confirming for Thursday? Or is that too long to go in between without saying anything to you?
Yeah, I would say that's way too long. Like not a hey, not a nothing, not even I don't know. Like if they're just like MIA for 4 days and then are like, all right, we're still going out. They probably only want one thing, and or maybe they're just really busy and it like popped up in their calendar and they're like, oh,
They set a
but like
reservation.
not no. Yeah, I don't think that's
So that's a little more if there's a gap in between. I also feel like that if you guys have plans Friday night, they should be texting you Friday morning or Friday afternoon confirming, being like, "Hey, are we still doing this tonight?"
you should do that with anybody for anything.
Agreed, because I've been in situations where I'm just left in the dark and then I'm getting ready for said date and then I'm like, are they still picking me up? They never told me anything and now I'm just left in the dark. So it's either I reach out to them, but I'm kind of like, you're the one who asked me out. You should be the one following up. Why am I saying, which I don't know if that's too like,
No, if they asked you out, I mean
they should follow
the
up on it.
responsibility is on them.
All right, I think that's a quick one. If you ask somebody out, follow up the same day. Little tip. Now, the next one. This is what I was going to ask you earlier when we were at dinner, but I was like, let's save it for the pod. When is it time to cut off other roster members and delete dating apps when with a guy? So essentially, when does it become exclusive? Which I think can go two ways, but I'll hear your thoughts and then I'll let you know where I'm thinking with this one.
I think that should be a conversation that you have, but if not, I mean, for getting like technical, if you don't have that conversation, then like you never said. So like
That's so
there's
awful.
there's a lot of gray area. I mean, just being like if I pulled that and then somebody was like, "Well, you never said," I'd be like, "Shit." Oh, sorry.
No, yeah.
But if you have that conversation and you both are like, "Hey, this is like I just want to be with you," you either tell them no, like I don't want to just be with you, and then you have to risk losing them, I guess, but they're not the only one you wanted anyway. And or you do that. You remove everybody and I don't know, let them go because this is the person that you want to be with right now.
I think
I think that's very simple. It should be very simple.
it
I think it's
is.
easier said than done.
Okay. On top of that, yes, I agree a conversation needs to happen because otherwise you're just like guessing if they're still going out and talking to other people. But I think, at least personally, I reach a point with a guy that I'm like, I don't want to talk to anybody else. So I think that it's, let's say I'm feeling this way and he's not. I'm already not talking to other guys because I'm zoned in on him. Meanwhile, we never had this conversation that now he's still talking to other girls because he's like, oh, you never told me not to talk to other girls. But where I would lose my mind is being like, well, why do I have to tell you? Like, I thought that we were hanging out all the time. I thought we had this vibe. So I think that's just that you're not on the same page. Like, I feel like by the time you have the
Yes,
conversation, I would
I
hope
agree.
that I would hope that you're both like, oh yeah, like I haven't been talking to anybody anyways. Oh, I deleted Tinder weeks ago.
That's what you're hoping for. Not always the case.
Yeah.
But and that's what I'm saying. It's like you can easily pull the, well, you never said anything. And it's like, well, I thought we were just there. I thought we were just at that point.
So,
I've been at
so
that
with
point.
that, what is at that point? Is that like you go on, in my head, I'm like, you go on like 3 days, 3 dates, and then maybe like you like hook up, start having like sleepovers, start hanging out like every day. If I was hanging out with a guy every day or even like 3 times a week and I found out that he was still on Tinder, I would lose my mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if you're spending most nights of the week over there, they should not be talking to anybody else. Why are they talking to anybody else? If they want one thing, they're getting it. So, like, why are they? Why, yeah,
Even then, to bring up a safety perspective, if you guys are just like hooking up, you want to make sure that they're not hooking up with a bunch of other people,
very true.
because then
Very
that's
true.
literally dirty, not in like a ew, you're so dirty. It's literally unsafe. Now you need to go to the doctor
Yeah, that's
type.
a very good point.
So
Be safe.
to preach. So to answer that, when to cut off other roster members and dating apps, I wish it was as simple as you guys are just on the same page and you naturally stop and then you start dating. However, I think that it is way too common that, at least from a female perspective, that it's like I would expect him to be so about me that he's not talking to other girls and I'm not talking to other guys, but I feel like he'll be like, "Oh, we were just hanging out 3-4 times a week." But enough of that one. On to the next one, a fun one, which we've talked about recently. Ideal first date
Did we talk about this
in your
recently?
room. I brought it up.
Oh, oh, oh. Okay. Do you want to go first? I might
Sure,
need to
I
think
can
about
go
it.
first. Well, actually, what I would say is not an ideal first date, which I think is so funny, is bowling.
I
Because
love bowling.
I love
I
bowling.
love bowling.
I just think, and this is probably overthinking, but if it's two of you guys, one person is sitting at the bench or whatever, and then somebody goes to bowl, and then they have to turn around and walk back, I feel like it's so. After like the first time, you're just like, okay, going to get my other ball.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I will turn around and, like, I don't know, make a joke or something, or like just shit on my. Sorry.
I know you're fine.
Just roast my own goat. I don't know. um, I think bowling. I think this is what we talk about. I think any activity is a great first date because if nothing else, you can talk about the activity. It's something to do. It's something to get your mind off of. Oh, I'm on a date right now. Like I have to do all of this. Yeah, so that's why I like bowling for a date. I think it's so fun. I want to do it more, but I you can make your point. Sorry.
I said no. Literally, I'm probably just overthinking it. I've only gone on like a bowling date with one guy, and it was like my ex boyfriend. So it was already like we were very comfortable. You know what I mean? But I feel like with a new person, I'd be like, But for my ideal first date, I think drinks and an activity. I really love playing pool. So I feel like it would be fun to go to like a dive bar type beat, but not at like 2 in the morning, but just where you can get a seltzer, play pool, talk, joke about that. Because then you can also make conversation over pool. You don't even have to be talking about the game. And I feel like drinking makes it a little easier to chat and socialize, but don't get like trashed, presuming A, somebody's driving, and B, you just don't want the first impression. Maybe you think differently, but I feel like I wouldn't want the first time I hang out with somebody and I'm trying to like catch the vibe for both of us just to be like off of one. Because I guess to the opposite of that, oh, well, what I brought up before about the whole like you're setting the vibe if you want to hook up or not on the first time. I was like, if you're going over to Netflix and chill, realize the situation you're putting yourself in. So that's that. So that's why we think an activity is more casual, still something fun to do. And then the not extreme, but here are two ideas. Dinner, if it's a sit down dinner and you guys are like across from each other, or if it's a movie. What do you think about those for a first date?
For myself, I would love a movie because I'm just very awkward when I get nervous. And then we could go to the movie, be in each other's presence. It's a little, I'm getting used to it, but I don't have to say anything. And then afterwards, if
Talk
like
about the
I just didn't like
movie.
his presence, then I can just talk about the movie on the way home and it's not just too awkward.
Well, how
And
would you know
then
if you don't like his presence if you guys don't like talk at all? Because I feel like the whole movie I'd be thinking like, oh my god, like what is he thinking? Like I wouldn't even be paying
well, you'll
attention
know
to the
after the
movie
movie. And then
of
you
like
can
just
talk
how I
about
felt.
yeah, just talk about the movie and then you can get into other stuff. You can like I don't know.
I'm obviously such a yapper, and I don't know if I'm like a nervous talker. So I wonder if like if I'm with a guy and he doesn't like if he's not talking at all, we'll be watching the movie and I'll feel this like pressure to like fill the silence even though we're literally in a movie
You should not
theater.
do that. You should stay quiet.
I think in a movie I would just even little things like, oh my god, that was
No,
so
like that's
scary.
fine. But
Like
like if you're like trying to have a whole conversation during a movie, like no, no, no.
that's why I think I'm not a big
Yeah, maybe it's not.
movie
That's what I said. For me, a movie is good.
for
Dinner
somebody who
is good
talks.
too, but I feel like dinner, like, well, also for me, I have. I feel like when I don't know you, like I don't want to eat in front of you. So
Yeah. I don't know
that's
cuz
not good.
I feel like when you get meals like even so we went out to eat tonight. We were talking for a lot of it, but there's like times where there's like a minute of like not talking. I feel like if I was with a guy, I would feel like pressure. Like I would be like, "Oh my gosh, like nobody's talking. Like what is he thinking?" I think I would just get so in my head if nobody's saying anything. Don't relate.
No, I
You're
don't
like,
think
"Okay, we're
Adrian used
chilling."
to tell me to like talk to him. Like I would not say a word, but I'm fine with it. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, so ideal first date, I'd say pool and drinks. All right, this is a fun one. What are your thoughts on dating apps? If need be, you can get specific between Hinge, Tinder, and Bumble. Do you know the format of Bumble?
It's where the girls go
Swipe
first.
first, yeah. And I
Yeah.
think they have to message first. But
Um,
because
that's great. I would never ever. That could not be me. Not
I
even because not even like talking to boys. Like I don't initiate conversations with other girls. So that just wouldn't work.
I had it in college, but I have not used it in like at least like 4 years, maybe. So not a fan of Bumble, but
You do you.
have been on
I
and
don't know if
off.
I should have.
So any other general thoughts before I get into the specifics? Because I have
Well,
like
I didn't
sub.
answer
It's
the
so,
question.
oh, I just said, what are your thoughts? Oh, right. I just
Yeah, but definitely.
yeah. Your thoughts on dating apps, and then I'll go into sub bullets after you.
Okay. I would prefer the natural way of meeting, but I did meet my boyfriend on Tinder. Um,
I met my ex on
intention was
Tinder
yeah, intention was not to date, but like, oh, it happened.
two
So
years in.
yeah, like I have no. I guess I feel no way about it. I'm grateful for it, but
Today, I am grateful for Tinder.
not my preferred method. But yeah,
Okay, so I guess we could start with that sub bullet of meeting on Tinder. I agree. I don't think it's the most romantic thing, but I also think in this day and age, it's just super duper common. Like, and if you're not on dating apps, I mean, you can meet anybody literally wherever, like at the bar, at the gym, at a restaurant, somebody can easily come up to you. But I feel like on these dating apps, not to say everybody's looking for the same thing, because they give you options to say looking for a long-term relationship, looking for just friends. So it's the
They did
intention.
not have that when I was on Tinder.
It's on Hinge.
Oh. I don't.
It might also be on Tinder, but
Been
it's on
years,
Hinge.
so.
But so I'm like, that's nice. But I also feel like, me personally, I don't think a lot of guys are looking for a serious committed relationship on dating apps. And the ones that are scare me. Like, I've seen guys have in their bios being like, "Oh yeah, I'm looking for a wife. If you're looking just for this, swipe right." Like, but like that was the generous version of it. Like, they'd be nasty being like, "Yeah." But I'm like, "How are you, I hate the concept of, if you're looking for a girlfriend, you're like the first person who comes along that is like, oh, I'm looking for a boyfriend. You guys are going to be together." I think it's more natural if it's like, let's say I'm on Tinder and I'm only looking to hook up. So then this other guy comes along, he's only looking to hook up. We start hooking up. And then we end up like liking each other because we're just getting along. I didn't come into it being like, I'm looking for a boyfriend. You're going to be my boyfriend. I think that's, what do you think about that? If
I
people are
think
like,
that should be how it happens. I think there are other dating platforms for people who want serious committed
Christian
relationships.
mingle.
Yeah, match.com. Um but like Tinder, even Hinge, like
But why do
you're
you
not
think
on
that?
there to.
Why do you think that though? Like, some people are on there to
Well,
find
that's crazy because just because now it's just
like a hookup
that's just
app,
like
kind
yeah,
of
like that's the not the stereotype, but that's like the
like general consensus, like the
yes, that
purpose for
yeah,
using it.
the general consensus that Tinder is like mainly for people who just want to hook up, and that's fine. That's great. I think there should be a platform for that. But like you said, if you're just hooking up, but then like you find like a connection, like great,
I agree.
amazing. But I don't think I think it's you're setting yourself up for failure if you're on Tinder to find a long-term relationship.
Based solely on odds, no matter what your opinion on the app is, I think odds are, if you have like 10 guys in front of you, like uh, you would need like 30 guys in front of you, and I would say one of them is looking for a committed relationship if he's on Tinder. Moving into the same topic, different sub note that I am very passionate about. The reason that I'm a little hater on Tinder and Hinge, part one of it being, is they have a million other casual options.
What?
So
Oh.
I'm Snapchatting a guy. I have a crush on this guy. We met on Tinder. He's Snapchatting 50 other girls that he met on Tinder because I know that he's on Tinder. You get what I'm, versus if I were to meet somebody organically, imagine there was somebody who was on no social media. This is where they're like, oh, social media killed romance. Somebody who's on no social media, he's only talking, he's like texting me. Not even Snapchat, not like Instagram, not Tinder. He's not on the socials. I'm the only person in his life. Versus a guy that I meet on a dating app where there's a million other girls that he met on the dating app. I think I know where this is going.
No.
Okay.
I mean, yes. I agree with you because yeah. Like, yeah, this day and age, like I want to come back at you and be like, "Oh, well, they could be like this, like they could be like me." That wasn't the case for me. I mean, I was on Tinder, but I just didn't care enough to talk to
Multiple
multiple guys. Like
people.
I really it was just like a little game and then I just wouldn't talk to anybody.
But then to piggyback off of that, I feel like if I'm talking to a guy, and even if I'm just interested in him, but I know he's talking to other girls, I'm like, screw you, I'm going to talk to other guys. But now we're both just playing games and it's not going to
But girl, then
progress.
why did you get on Tinder? Isn't this what we just talked about?
I've been on and off of Tinder because literally I'm like,
this is what we just talked about.
fed up. I'm fed up with these men. Because furthermore, how I've talked about that we're in Tampa. So there are these guys that I'm like meeting, then I find their Instagram. They're following my friends. Are you guys friends? Did you guys hook up? Did you guys meet on Tinder? Are you talking to her the same way you're talking to me? Not to get crazy, but if That's just what I'm thinking. I think that they're talking to other people how they're talking to me because we met in the same circumstance, which is a very bold general statement, but
Bro, I think this is what we just talked about.
so what, should I not be on dating apps because I got off of dating apps because I was like, I don't know what I'm looking for here. If I wanted a real boyfriend right now, I would not want him to be talking to a million other girls on dating apps. If he has 20 free minutes in his day, I do not want him swiping. Therefore, I'm not going to meet a guy I don't want on dating apps, obviously.
Correct.
Okay, yeah, I needed advice on this. So what do I do about that when I find out that somebody that I'm interested in knows one of my friends? And I don't know how they know. I just know that they know each other.
Firstly, don't assume. They could have had a class together. Could have.
They didn't.
Could have. Could have. They could have. I don't know.
They could have been pen pals. Maybe they never even met in person.
Maybe.
Or maybe he's sending her pics.
You don't
and
know.
I'm looking stupid because I'm friends with her.
I think you're overthinking. I think you're getting in your head about it, and I think you're just jumping to conclusions on that one. I think you can see where it goes. If you really want to know, which I think you really do, you can ask them. And
with that, I kind of don't want to ask because I don't want to come off as like crazy, being like, oh,
but you're gonna drive yourself crazy not knowing.
Yeah, but I'd rather I already know I'm crazy. The guys don't know I'm crazy yet. So it's like, I can't just be like, oh, how do you know so-and-so? And he's like, because imagine he is like, oh yeah, we hooked up 2 weeks ago. What would I do then?
Yeah, I mean, no, don't.
yeah.
Just move on. I mean, you would just move on. I mean, there's nothing else to say. You would just move on. So, okay, goodbye. Cross him off the list, I guess.
Yeah.
Simple answer that he's not what you want. I mean, you watch How I Met Your Mother.
Some of it.
It's like that kind of thing every episode. They do, something, and then it's like, okay, bye-bye. On to the next adventure. So I don't see anything wrong with that.
I just hate obviously the early phase in relationships are so exciting. However, I dislike that you have no idea what's going on. That you're it's kind of like fun and cute being like, wait, like, do they like me back? Like, what do they think of me? I hate thinking of, though, are they talking to other girls? Are they going on other dates?
I think you just have to change your thinking and change your mindset about it.
To be like, they're still dating, I'm still dating, we're not, we didn't have the exclusive talk, so
protect your peace. You don't want to know the answer, don't go looking for the answer. You're gonna drive yourself insane looking for that answer for something that you don't even want to know. Like, if you really feel that way about somebody, if you don't care whether you find out or not, and then once you find out you're gonna be like, okay, bye, then you don't want to put the effort in anyway.
That's where I feel like I'm at, though. Not to be like, oh, if this person's talking to other girls, I'm cutting them off immediately, but I kind of want to know.
But what if you found out, for factual, yes, they are talking to other girls, they're sending pictures. Then you're gonna, that is...
It's like, he's not allowed to be talking to other girls, so I can't...
Exactly. I agree. So it's just better if you
I just would be pissed knowing.
Yeah. So it's just better that, don't ask questions that you don't want to know the answer to.
Ignorance is bliss. All right, so we are...
Protect your peace.
Period. We are rounding out at about 30 minutes. I have one more question. Actually, I have another note left over for the dating apps, then one more question, and then we'll cut it off. So it'll be under 40 minutes. So back to the dating apps. I was saying that people I wrote stuck in limbo. It usually is like, we'll match on a dating app. I'll get their Snapchat. Either I literally never add them back, which I feel like you're going to be like, well, that's your fault, which is my fault. But if I do add them back, then we'll start Snapchatting. But then it's like, if we Snapchat for like 2+ days and we do not talk about plans or make plans, you're getting like, you're out. Cause it's just, you're too, in my head, another reason I don't really love dating apps is because the people are too like fake to me. Like I see them as a profile. Like they're not like a real person that I met. Versus people that I meet in person, I'm much more open to be more like talking to them.
What was the question?
I literally was just thinking that same thing. I think I was just saying that I get stuck.
Right.
Like the guy, like it's not every guy that I'm matching with, we're going on a date. That's not like, I would say out of like 200 guys, like 3 of them I'm going on dates with. And the rest of them just disappear.
Yeah. Into the
Abyss.
the Tinder abyss.
And the last final note for the dating apps, I said there are people that I'll swipe left on, but I think I would give them a chance in person.
Yeah, for sure.
You're okay.
They fall into that ugly hot, and hey, if you want to do a bonus,
Yeah,
go over
we
that.
could. Yeah, we could grab the whiteboard and do a little at the very end. There'll be a bonus and explain your ways. What is it? A method? A
It's
chart?
a male scale.
A male?
Yeah, it's a graph. It's an X and a Y. It's just a fun little thing to be objective towards men.
Period.
Go women.
Go women. Okay, so then that'll be our final bonus at the end. The last question. Well, we actually kind of talked about this at the beginning. Would you say hooking up early changes the pace/tone of a relationship?
Yeah.
You said no at the beginning. You were like, if you want to hook up, it's.
Oh, well, yeah, but I mean, like, your relationship is going to be different if you have sex versus if you don't have sex. Like, that's just, like,
a fact.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't mean it's going to change for the better. It might just progress your relationship a little faster, maybe. But, yeah. What was the, can you repeat it?
Just, would you say hooking up early changes the pace/tone of a relationship?
Yeah, I think it could. It could not. It could just, like, you just keep going how you've been going, and it's great. I think getting it out of the way is probably nice.
I never saw it as like a get it out the way type of thing.
Neither did I.
Oh, okay,
I don't know.
Not us, but if anybody else. I think it's more with somebody new, if like you really like them, I think it's like better to like build up to it, that it's like you go on a few dates and you're like, oh my god, is he gonna kiss me tonight? Like, yeah, because my answer, I still stick with mine, that I feel like if you hook up like the first time, they just expect that for the rest of it, versus if you make them like take you out first and buy you dinner and drive you wherever, like, then I think they're more like working for it.
And my counter to that was make them work for it anyway. You got what they want. Make them work for it no matter how many times, or else they're just not getting it.
All right. Those were all of my questions prepared. I think we could do like a conclusion wrap up and then add the bonus on the very end. So yeah, today we just talked about, it's me, your host, Ashley Fisher, with my roommate, Andrea, and she is the one that I go to for all things dating advice, because I need to get it out and rant, and she most of the time is very level, clear-headed, being like, okay, I think you might be overreacting here. And then there's other times where she's like, no, you're right, like, screw him, like, do not text him back ever. And I'm like, thank you, I needed to hear that. So this episode was a little bit of like the two sides of reason. So with that all said, I think that we'll go into our bonus part.
Should we do it? Do you want to get
the whiteboard?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, everybody, this is the bonus to the episode. This is my male scale. Hopefully it's not backwards when you are looking at this. But anyway, basically, it's an X and a Y. It's hot is the Y, personality is the X axis, and there's 4 quadrants. In the 4 quadrants, also this is to, like, you know how men have like the women are on a scale of 1 to 10.
I was saying the crazy hot scale from How I Met Your Mother.
That's true too, but like
it is objective. But
this is my counter to that, and this is all based on your own, like, where I might put people on my male scale is where you might not put people. So like, it's all relative.
But we're giving celebrity examples to let you know where our head is at.
Right. So, in the first quadrant, we have hot. We have hot, hot. This is for men who are just conventionally attractive. They have a good personality. Most people think they're attractive, and they are. I would put like Michael B. Jordan. Um, Most people would put Ryan Reynolds, Ryan Gosling. I think.
I say Channing Tatum,
Yeah.
more specifically Paul Walker in his prime,
Mm-hmm.
and who is that? Matt Damon.
Yes, all great examples of a hot, hot man. Then you have ugly hot over here, and ugly hot is somebody who, like, at first you're like, nah, not my taste. It's okay though. But then you get to know them. Then you get to know their personality. You hang out with them more. You get their vibe, and it's like, okay, maybe you're actually really cute. A good example for me is Jason Segel, Jeremy Allen White.
Say from what? Say Jason C.
From
He's the How I Met Your
How I
Mother,
Met Your
right?
Mother.
He's
Marshall.
Marshall from How I Met Your Mother.
Because like at first you're like this lanky tall guy, like what's he doing? But then it's like, oh my god, Marshall, I love you. Jeremy Allen White, I think, is another like he's kind of like hard on the eyes, but then he's Jeremy Allen White.
He's in The Bear. He also
Yes.
had like a Calvin Klein
And
photo
Shameless.
shoot. Oh, and okay.
And that one wrestling movie. Then you have ugly, ugly. These like sorry, but you know the ugly, ugly. Like you're just not gonna. Nothing's ever gonna move forward.
I don't have any like, but where?
Yeah, I can't think of any ugly, uglies. Like
Would you put? I was gonna say Jonah Hill, but I don't know if he's
Jonah Hill now. Yes, an ugly, ugly. Sorry, Jonah.
Zach. Well, no, I think
No.
Zach. We're
Then
getting
we
to
have
him.
then we have hot, ugly. Hot, ugly is when maybe they used to be hot and now they are not. Whether be it personality or like physical change, like Zac Efron is still like I guess conventionally attractive. Like most people would say he's attractive, but now like have you seen him? Crazy. So he would be in a hot, ugly. Somebody who's really hot but has a shit personality would be in a hot, ugly. And just like I don't know, just players, big egos, like things we don't like. Like yes, you're pretty to look at, but like get away from me.
Have you seen Blue Mountain State?
No.
So in Blue Mountain State, there's this guy named Thad who is like the stereotypical hottest football player, but he's literally brain dead, so to speak. So you would think he's very conventionally attractive. If you looked at him and he kept his mouth shut, you'd be like, oh my God, he's big and muscles. But then he starts talking and you're like, ew.
Yeah. Yeah. Really, it could be anything that you dislike about them. Could put them in the hot, ugly, as long as they're hot. And that's also up to you. None of the people that we mentioned in the hot, hot could be hot, hot to you, and that's totally fine. It's really whatever you want. And I think that's better than the 1 to 10 because
You gotta add in like if you're like, oh, they're a 5, does that mean that on looks they're a 0, but they have a 5 personality?
Yeah, I don't know. I just think this is easier to like visualize. So
all right, guys. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And thank you for everything, actually. See y'all next episode. Bye.